Thank you very much, Ceann Comhairle. I'm looking for leave to introduce the 39th Amendment of the Constitution Right to Housing Bill 2020. This is the same bill as I introduced to the Dáil in 2017, which at that time was narrowly defeated in the Dáil, although it is worth saying that although Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael voted against this bill at that time, the Greens supported it. And also now in the new programme for government, the new government have, I think, committed to. The Housing Minister can nod if I'm correct. I think committed to introducing a right to housing bill. So here's the bill. You just have to support it. I think it's very important that we do bring in this bill, amend the Constitution to include the right to housing, because time and time again, when we have sought measures to protect the rights of tenants, to do things like prevent unjust economic evictions, to take over property that could be used for housing people desperately in need, we're told on this and many other housing-related issues that we can't do it because of the protections on private property in the Constitution. Now, frankly, I've never accepted that. And we discovered, of course, in the midst of the COVID pandemic, that things that we were told for previous years by the Fine Gael government you couldn't do because they were unconstitutional, like ban evictions, like control rents to some extent, not enough, but to some extent, things that we were told we couldn't do in the past, then we discovered actually we could do them, which, suggests that some of the legal justifications for not introducing a right to housing or taking measures to ensure housing provision for people in this country, to protect tenants and so on, some of those legal justifications were spurious in the first place. Nonetheless, I think it's important we bring this in, because if you think about the current efforts by the government to dismantle the emergency protections for tenants introduced during COVID-19 today, some of that disgraceful move, in my opinion, by the new government to actually remove those protections on tenants and open the door for evictions are being justified by so-called advice from the Attorney General about the ban on evictions and rent increases being unconstitutional because of the constitutional protection of private property. I reject that, but just to be sure, let's actually have the referendum. Let's get it clear in the Constitution that people do have the right to housing, that the right to housing is the definition of the common good, and that common good and that right to housing should override protections on private property, particularly when we're talking about the private property of landlords, vulture funds and others who seem to think that their wealth is more important than the right to secure and dignified housing for ordinary people. So this bill seeks to insert after Section 2 of Article 43 of the Constitution, which is the section that deals with the common good and private property, and it inserts the following sections: that the state in particular recognises the common good as including the right to secure, affordable, dignified housing appropriate to the needs for all residents of Ireland, and shall guarantee this right through its laws, policies and the prioritisation of resources. And 2, that the state accordingly shall delimit the right to private property where it is necessary to ensure the common good, and to vindicate the said right to housing for all residents of Ireland. So this is what all of the housing charities, NGOs, anybody concerned with housing have said is necessary to have the right to housing, to end the scandal of homelessness, to end the scandal of private profit being put before the basic human right to a secure, affordable roof over your head. It seems to me there should be no reason why the government wouldn't support and assist getting this legislation as quickly as possible through the Dáil, that we can have the referendum and let the people decide if they think the right to housing should be a basic human right in this country.